guys, it's Adam from ATP Powerlifting, and I usually do two types of videos on this channel: equipment reviews and how-to videos. And I recently put a post up on my social media, and it was a unanimous poll decision that you guys wanted to see or me to do a video on my life, my business, and essentially how I'm doing with my business, right? So, quick update for those of you that don't know, I'm from Connecticut. In August of 2019, me and my girlfriend decided to move away from Connecticut and move to Arizona, with the primary goal and objective is that at some point I want to open a gym in Connecticut. It's not a small business friendly state, whereas Arizona is, also keeping in mind that California and Nevada are right there. So we have the Europa, we have Muscle Beach, we have the LA Fitness Expo, we have the Mr. Olympia. So Arizona, although it's not in those states, it's a lot more fitness oriented. It's warm all the time. I didn't want snow. But again, the big main reason we moved to Arizona was because we wanted to open a gym long term. So August, we move here and we rent for about 6 months in Maricopa, Arizona. And in February, I think it was 18th, we bought our home, which is this. And by March 19th, I didn't have a job anymore. I mean, technically I had a job, but I was furloughed and not making any money. What was really cool is that I found out that I couldn't get unemployment because I didn't live in the state of Arizona long enough, and Connecticut obviously wasn't going to pay me unemployment because I didn't live there anymore. So I had to figure something out. Also, if I didn't mention it, I started working as a personal trainer at a Mountainside Fitness about 2 weeks after I moved here. So I'm working at Mountainside Fitness 6 days a week. COVID happens, March 19th, all the gyms closed down, and I have to figure something out. So at this point, it was maybe like 10 days before all of this unraveled. I was working on getting my Connecticut LLC transferred from Connecticut with the trademarks to Arizona. That finally went through. The Arizona Commission and everything took a long time to figure it out, but it did happen at the right time, so I was thankful because that allowed me to start training people out of my home, which is cool because that's legal here in Arizona. And Connecticut, it's pretty much not. So I started training people out of my house because, now I need to pay for this mortgage because I bought this house a month ago, a little more than a month ago, and I'm not taking in any income, and I couldn't get unemployment. So I'm training people out of my house. I had some people that came from Mountainside, but Mountainside, keep in mind, was 40 minutes away. I moved here, didn't know where anything was, applied to a location that was too far away, got the job, and I ended up liking my fitness manager and everything, hit it off. So I decided to stay there even though it was a 40-minute drive. I was just doing long days there. So gyms do end up opening back up. 2 weeks later, and I'm down to 4 days at this point, and boom, they close again. And so at this point, I start training, I start pushing to train people out of the house more. I'm buying more equipment. I did get the stimulus check, and I did spend that all on equipment. Gonna be just completely 100% honest with you. And I started training people, but I think it was June 29th, gyms officially opened back up. And now I'm at Mountainside 2 days a week, and ATP is doing pretty good. Like, it's not doing as good as it was working at Mountainside 6 days a week, but it's sustainable, living on like rice and beans type of thing. It's also kind of fixing up cars and flipping them because I was a mechanic way back, but we're not going to get into that. But I was surviving. So I go back to Mountainside. My fitness manager is there for maybe a couple months. ATP is still picking up, getting more traction, and he ends up getting fired for pretty much no reason, which he was there since the club opened 5 years ago. So this just blew my mind, kind of infuriated me, and it really made me decide, like, if they're gonna fire someone that's been there for 5 years and has done nothing but commit their time to this company. And if you didn't know, Arizona is a right to work state. So in Connecticut, you can't just fire someone. In Arizona, you can just go, I don't like your face, you're fired. I don't have to tell you why, and there you go, you're out the door. So they fired him, didn't tell him why, kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and that's when it made me realize I don't need to be here. So I start working on getting as much clientele I can to ATP, and what was it? Before the end of the year, it was December 28th, I quit Mountainside and decided to just, burn the boat, leave myself no option, kind of get rid of that safety net and stop distracting myself by splitting myself between Mountainside and ATP. Now, some of you are probably gonna say, like, well, it was only 2 days a week. It's like 2 days a week was enough for me mentally to give myself that handicap of being like, oh, well, I still have Mountainside, so I don't have to push myself as hard. Once I burned that boat and got rid of Mountainside, my motivation and desire to progress ATP increased tenfold. And that was really another huge reasons that I wanted to do it, is I knew that would happen because I know myself pretty well. So I quit Mountainside December 28th, and by the end of January, I nearly doubled my income. So that's where we're at now, and I'm looking at gym locations. I was looking in Maricopa. If you don't know, Maricopa was a very fast growing city in Arizona. In 2006, they went from about 6,000 people to now it's 2021 and they have about 60,000 people. It might be more than that, but you still got to do the census or whatever it's called where they're counting people, but it's about 60,000 people. What I didn't know at the time is Maricopa City is very, very expensive for leasing once I started looking at leasing options. And the cheapest I found in Maricopa is $18 a square foot, but more than likely, it's like $24 a square foot. So if you do some quick math, and I'll put it up on the screen because I'm not gonna remember what this is, or be able to do the math in my head rather, but $24 square foot, let's just say I wanted 3,000 square feet, which is on the smaller side of what I would want. I want somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 square feet, and if there was something where it had the availability to expand, even better. I looked it up and we're talking more money than I'm making now to just have the location. I think it was like $80,000 or something, but I'll put the number there. It's probably way off. And I go and I look in Chandler, so Chandler, Arizona, which is pretty close and centralized everywhere else, whereas Maricopa is like pretty much in the middle of the desert. You see prices as low as $8 a square foot. So I'm almost certain at this point that I'm not going to have a gym in Maricopa. It's going to be in Chandler, but it's about a 20-minute drive from Maricopa to Chandler, also Queen Creek, Phoenix, Peoria, all those other areas kind of around Phoenix are now going to be about 20 minutes away. So I'll have the ability to have more clientele. For those of you curious, yes, it's going to be an open gym. There's just something about that open gym environment that I really like. I would never want to have just a private training studio where I just come and train people. I really like the environment that an open gym builds. I know it comes with more issues and more problems and stuff like that, but I really enjoy it. I always went to open gyms and stuff like that. So that's where we're at now. It is February 12th. We went around on Monday, started looking at the locations, talking with a broker, figuring out how much everything costs, and now the problems I'm running into are finding used equipment. Finding used equipment before, not that difficult. I wish I bought a whole bunch of it and ordered even more of it, but I didn't. So I'm having problems finding used equipment. I'm like, all right, well, some of this I can justify buying new. I want it all to match. I want a certain color. Let's go buy that stuff. Nope, can't buy that stuff. Let's say I want an RM6. The theme of the gym is kind of going to be that it's either black or it's a bare steel clear coat, which I decided years and years ago. So don't say I'm copying no one's idea. As you can see, I have some of that stuff. Well, it's behind the camera. I do have bare steel stuff that I'm grinding down and clearing so it all matches currently in my free time. But Rogue is not offering satin clear right now. So it's like, what do? Do I buy the black rack and take a grinder to it and grind it all down and do it? It's like not trying to mess with that. So now I'm looking at other options from Rep Fitness and stuff like that, even though I really did want those the RM6 because it was 108 inches tall. So I'll have to do some more searching. I'm talking with some other guys that flip equipment professionally to try to get the equipment. The location I am looking at currently was already an old studio that went out of business, so it already has all the stall mats down, it has the mirrors and everything down, but I'm getting super excited. Once I saw the locations, it kind of like put it all in perspective and made it seem much more realistic. I can afford it financially, barely at this point. I can cover all my expenses with the house and everything like that. And I know that long term, this location will help me make more money, but it's going to be one of those things again where I kind of just have to jump in and do it. You can only plan so much before you just have to jump in and figure it out and just kind of let the cards fall. If you just keep planning and waiting for the perfect opportunity, it's never going to happen. The longest deadline I'm giving myself, and this time everyone will be able to hear it, is the end of 2021. But realistically, I would like 3 to 6 months, but at the very, very latest, it's going to be 2021. Before COVID, my goal was before my birthday, which I'm turning 26. That would have been March. I don't know why I have to look at the clock to know my birthday. Would have been March 21st. That's when I turned 26. But that's pretty much all. I just wanted to give you guys an update as requested. If you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. I hope you found this video interesting and I just didn't bore the hell out of you. If you liked the video, please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. That's all from me, guys.
Can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon, and I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do.